Hello everyone, welcome to Gold Nugget JAW_success. If this is your first time to the channel, let me welcome you. If you have already subscribed, let me thank you for joining me on this growth path. And indeed, growth is something that takes place every day. And because growth takes place every day, we're going to have to identify the things that grow or cause us to grow. Each of us grow at different rate, and some of us can't grow under certain conditions or in certain places. Depends on the type of people around us. Some of us can't even grow with some people around us because if we try, those individuals cause our energy, to fall into holes. So we're never going to grow with them being there. We're going to have to find our way and find ourselves in a position of growth. And as a result of this, today my nugget is thieves, identifying thieves. And why am I talking about identifying thieves? Because there are some things in our lives that robs us. They rob us of the dream we have. I will not say they are dream killers because they by themselves don't kill the dream. But they take something from us that will ensure that we will never have that sense of completion, that sense of wholeness to accomplish the dream. This is what I'm speaking of when I'm talking about thieves and being able to identify thieves. Now, in this nugget, I'm sure that in your own life, in your own space, in your own time, you may be able to identify some thieves. But can I help you to identify some specific ones that we probably ignore and don't recognize the kind of impact that they are having on our lives, right? For example, thieves oftentimes comes when no one is looking, when we are less prepared, when our guards are down, when we leave things careless, some would say, or when we leave our valuable stuff unprotected. They normally just swoop in and take them. Thieves generally comes when under the cover of night, they wait until everybody else is gone and then they come and steal from us. But this is not the kind of thief I'm talking about. This is not the kind of individual that I'm talking about. The individual that I'm speaking about are the things that I'm speaking about is things that we ignore, things that we take for granted or allow room and space in our lives. Growing up as a child, my grandmother would not allow us as young people, as children, to stay in the bed later than 5:30, 6 o'clock, the max. Or if she is not feeling well, 7 o'clock, we could dream of having a time when we get out of bed at 7. And so I used to wonder why is it that she kept pressuring us to get out of bed. But I realized that my grandmother was teaching us a principle to guard against the thief of time. That which comes to steal productive time from us, that which comes to make sure that that early energy, that early boost of zest that we have is not stolen. My grandmother used to say to us that if sun catches you in the bed, you will be lazy for the rest of the day. Over the years, I have learned that nothing steals our energy like laziness. Nothing steals our joy like complacency. Nothing steals the vision for life like lackadaisicality. If we have that sense of being lackadaisical, it steals what we have from us. So in identifying what I classify as thieves, I would say to you, look at the things that you do as an individual that you make excuse for, but at the end of the day causes you to be less productive, less active, less involved, less focused on what is the dream. Sometimes we make excuses for the thieves because guess what? We are getting this momentary joy from them. So we allow them to have their way. For example, one of the thieves that I want to identify here and now is sleep. You may say, boy, no, I love sleep. No, sleep, if not used properly for rest, end up becoming a thief. And how is it becomes a thief to us? It becomes a thief because when we should be up and productive, we are lying in bed sleeping. If ever a statement is true, it is that the heights gained and kept, right, by great men were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, was toiling upwardly in the night. Is a true axiom, because guess what? When we are up and we are vitalized and when we are moving throughout the day, hey, guess what? We end up having enough energy to complete task. So the thief of sleep, even though it is important, if we make excuse for it, we end up losing things that we should be doing. It never gets done. The thief of game playing. Some of us play games, and when we finish play the game and we enjoy the game, right, we end up going to the first thief that I just mentioned. We end up going to do what? To sleep. So the game, the thief of playing game, yes, it's an entertainment, but no, if it is not used as a welcome break from the rigors of life, from the expended energy that you have put out on something else, playing games becomes a thief of your time. Another thief that I want you to identify is music and television. Watching television, even being on YouTube, can be considered as a thief. Why? Because as I said before, the thief can come in and scout out your place while you are wide awake and while you are up and running. But they will not steal things from you when you are there. They will steal it from you when you are least expecting it and when you're ignorant. And this is the thief that I want you to identify and make a note of. That these things which we classify as relaxation oftentimes give us a reason not to be productive, not to do the things that we are supposed to do. We put important things on the side burner and allow them to sweep us away. Another of the thief that I would say to you, well, I live in a country that have pubs and bars and all of these kind of stuff. Now, you may say, hanging out with my friends is not a thief. Yes, it is a thief. And it has the potential to rob you of greater things than you can imagine. I'm not saying you should never go out with your friends. I'm not saying that you should never enjoy a pub. I'm never saying that you shouldn't go to a football match. But I'm going to say to you, anytime it stops you from being productive, anytime it requires you to give it more of your attention, and the things like whether it be school, homework, study, doing something in the yard, planning your future, looking at how you can get a job, or all of these things, it becomes a thief. Many of us as individuals, and I can say as a man, if somebody in my younger days, my grandmother passed off at a particular time in my life, and of course when you get to a certain age, you stop paying attention to the lessons that are being taught to you, so you end up have to learn the hard way. In this nugget, I'm simply saying to you, don't learn the hard way. Learn from early that some things will stop you from gaining the result that you need to gain. And I am calling these things thief. I have identified 3 of them. I said sleep, I have said game playing and watching, and I have said movies and theaters and those things and hanging out with friends at pub, you probably can identify some other stuff that you enjoy doing. But when you are finished doing them, you're no better off than you were if you had taken up a book, if you had looked at how to learn a particular task, getting better at something. I mentioned before in one of my nuggets that I started learning how to play the keyboard. But then guess what? I stopped learning how to play the keyboard. And you know why? Because I started to give myself the time to slack off. I started to say, let me just relax and watch this movie. Let me relax and start watch this mini series. And in the end, what do I end up having? Years pass and I'm no better off playing the keyboard than I was if I had continued. So in order to avoid the thieves, we've got to find a passion. We've got to find a drive on the inside that tell us that what we are going to be doing or what we are doing is more worthwhile than what we will be giving up or allowing the thief to steal from us. So I want to challenge you. I want to say to you, if you are to grow, if you are to go into being the individuals you are to be, you've got to be able to identify the thieves. You've got to be able to ask yourself the question, how much will I lose if I do this? Will I gain back the time that I will be spending doing this? Or am I doing this just because I am relaxing? I have been out there on the battlefield for so long that I just need to come back to the camp, take off the armor, take out some splinter, rub some oil on the wound and get better? Or is it a fact that you are just allowing the hours to pass because, man, I enjoy this? If joy steals from your future, your joy in the future will not be joy. It will be misery, complaining, and bitterness. So I am saying to you from now, if I may be talking to some young person, that you need to pay attention. It's a lazy spirit that would want you to continue in certain vein and not see how in the present action rob you of future glory. So the individual, I will close by saying this, the individual who are more aware of thieves and are looking out for the thieves of time and are looking out for the things that will deplete productivity and energy is the individual who are better able to succeed in life. These individuals not only set goal, but they meet those goals. And this is what I am saying to you. Anything that comes to steal or detract you from your goal is a thief. This is JAW saying to you, by all means necessary, create a way out. God bless you. Bye.